Hello and welcome to your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week of September 8th, 2014. This week we're doing a little something extra special. I am using the ArchAngel Power Tarot deck by Doreen and Radleigh Valentine. And when I give readings, I oftentimes will ask that as the tarot cards come out, I'm given a sequence of numbers that I can use to divine a angel number reading. Well, a new deck of cards were released, and they are numerology cards. So I've asked today that as the cards come out, they give me numbers that I will add up to get the numerology number, and we'll draw that card at the end of the reading. So to start our reading this week, the first card we draw is 3 of Ariel. Now Ariel, as we see here by the cogs on the workbench, which resemble coins or pentacles, is the earth suit, or the coin or pentacle suit in traditional tarot. Usually deals with finances. So the card reads, "Do what you love, a time for great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner." So we see this, and the first thing we think of is kind of what they've been giving us each week up to now, is moving forward into almost like transitioning into something that we're passionate about. Now this doesn't always mean career, although very strongly in the recent readings it seems to be pushing towards what you're doing for a living or to make your income. In this case, I don't feel so strongly it's about your career, although it certainly could be. It seems to me in this particular case for this reading this week, it's more about kind of pursuing that hobby that you've been putting off or reviving it. Something you love, something artistic. Music, painting, sketching, sculpting, creating in some type of media, or altering medias to make something new. That's very strongly what I'm feeling with this card. So beginning of the week, be looking for, if you've had that call to get back to something artistic you used to do, or you're really feeling the urge to try something you've always wanted to do, listen to that and move forward, and do it out of passion, not out of necessity, not out of what you feel like this is what you're supposed to be doing, but do it out of a sense of you've always wanted to do it. Take this time to make that move and do it for no other reason than it brings you joy. So moving on to our second card, which represents the latter half of the work week, we have 10 of Michael. 10 of Michael is swords in traditional tarot, or air in angel tarot. A situation has ended. You are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Now, when we're dealing with swords or air, those suits in the tarot, it's emotions. It's what you're dealing with emotionally. Or not, I'm sorry, not emotions, but like your thoughts. It's what's on your mind. It's what's weighing you down. You know, water or cups is the emotion, but the thought, though it seems like it would be a similar suit, it's the thought or what's really like weighing on you. Now that can be an emotional response, but this is like your thoughts and how your thoughts are affecting your progress. So the card, the most relevant thing on this card is put the past behind you. You really are only free. A situation has truly only ended, and new opportunities can only truly come to pass or come to fruition when you have released all that is involved with the prior situation. I'm getting for this particular card almost, again, it's getting, they're really coming to me strongly with this whole hobby or passion that you had that may have been stifled because of the situation that you are now coming to the end of. And perhaps that end of that situation is going to give you a sense of freedom to now pursue this, to now make this manifest this into your reality. Almost like a celebratory thing, like, you know, I'm going to do this for me, and there's no better person to do it for than you. So moving through into our weekend now, we see Ace of Gabriel. Now Gabriel is Archangel Gabriel, obviously, but a lot of people know this being or this entity as Gabriel. In biblical terms, and when I say biblical, I mean religious doctrine, not only in Christian faith, but in Judaism and some other faiths that recognize the archangels. Everything was very masculine. When these things were written by men, femininity was very much blocked out. But for centuries, people who have channeled and worked closely with this archangel understand it to be a loving, motherly, nurturing energy. So even though angels do not have neither male or female identities, this archangel is more appropriately named Gabriel. So this card is Ace of Gabriel, and it reads, a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration. The chance to do something amazing, a sense of wonder. Now, when we're dealing with the Gabriel suit, this is fire. This is what you're passionate about. This is what drives you. This is the fire suit, or the wands or staves in traditional tarot. And these are the things that really drive you. And when things are what you're passionate about, it's typically always part of what your soul purpose is, what your soul contract is, or your, you know, there's all different terms for it within this, you know, realm of spirituality. But it's your what you have been born into this existence, into this manifestation. It's part of why you are here now. So this is all tying back into that kind of losing yourself into some form of inspired creation, whatever it may be. And when we think about inspired creation or artistic or creative endeavors, we immediately think of the major art forms: painting, sculpting, drawing, composing of music, playing of music. That being said, it could be anything. It could be, if you want to put a more spiritual spin on it, it could be weaving dream catchers. I'm not sure if I've shared this story with any of yous before, but I randomly, when I first started dream walking, one of the first open communications I've had in my journey was through my dreams. And I had a dream that I set with an Indian shaman. He showed me every step in weaving a dream catcher, from bending the wood without it breaking, lashing it off, and then with one single piece of continuous thread weaving the entire thing, and then adorning it. And later, through when I began the channel, I found out it was a Lakota Indian. And that's the word I was given. I've never actually followed up and researched where this tribe originated from. It sounded right to me, Lakota. I believe it was Lakota. And a Lakota shaman. So, and I literally woke up the next day with that knowledge, and I went and wove a dream catcher. And I've made several since, and I usually adorn them with actual gemstones, beads made of actual stones like unakite or sodalite or lapis, quartz, various things depending on the energy somebody's looking for. And that's one of the things I do with, my wood pens and the sacred wood items that I make. I really don't advertise that a lot. I don't want to make it feel like I'm trying to sell anybody anything, but I do lots of artsy stuff like that I do sell or gift to people that I'm doing energy work with. Point of that story is you don't always have to think inside the box when it comes to artistic expression. That, like so many labels us as humankind have given, is a very vague term. You could go out back and draw squiggles in the dirt with a stick, and it's still a creative expression. So don't limit yourself. Whatever you're feeling passionate about, Sometimes we think, oh, that's just silly. Don't second doubt your intuition. Don't second doubt your gut feeling on this, because you are as connected as I am. You are connected as some of the world's most famous mediums and intuitives are connected. We are all connected, and you know that already in your heart. You know that these things that you feel or see or hear are real. So don't ever take anything too lightly or too for granted, or think it's silly or hokey. Embrace whatever it is you're feeling to do, and really move forward with it. It's almost like they're telling us to take this time now to celebrate this phase we've left, and the new phase we're entering, and really rise up in vibration and frequency, and in a celebratory way to enter this new phase. So again, it's all wonderful stuff. Now, I set the intention before this reading. Normally, I do an angel number reading. So I'll take the 3 cards as a layout, and I'll look up that 3-digit number. And if it's a major arcana, that's where it ends, and so on and so forth. We don't recognize court cards. That's the intention I set, and I get very active numbers. Now, in this situation, I asked for this new deck that I've acquired, which is a Numerology deck. And I literally just bought it. I'm not sure of the person's name. I feel terrible, but I will post that when I post it. And I asked for a numerology card. So for this instance, I'm adding these numbers up. So we have the 3 to 10 and the ace, which translates to 1, which gives us 14. So in these cards, 14 is the moderation card. Now this deck is interesting because it's a series of numbers, not in numerical order. They jump around because it's meant to be like an oracle card set. And then it gives you single word ideals, I guess you should say, or inspiration, with the Merkaba symbol we see here. And then the numerological alignment to that card. Now this card is moderation, and this is a reminder, appropriately enough, as we lose ourselves into these things that we're feeling inspired to do, the things that we're now celebrating as we move out of the past and release it all. It's a reminder that even though we are looking to celebrate and lose ourselves, we still have to live in our physical world, and there are still responsibilities to be seen to. So the card is moderation, reminding us, live your joy, be in that place of celebration, but keep your feet on the ground while you're doing it. Stay grounded and exist in a sense of moderation where you can handle your responsibilities and do what you need to do to keep your material life and your human life moving forward as your soul rises up in celebration. And there's an affirmation associated with this card that reads, with temperance and balance, I can live my life in moderation. So it's appropriate because we were just speaking of letting go and releasing and letting yourself kind of run wild as you have this newfound freedom. But it's reminding us to do this in moderation. And you do see sometimes people, when they lose themselves, they come out of a long bad marriage or out of a bad situation, and sometimes the celebration leads them down not the best path. They kind of lose sight on who they are through the celebration and make some poor decisions. So the moderation card is very appropriate for this. So however this reading has resonated with you, I hope it's fallen and given you a truth, and you found it to be helpful and meaningful. And that's all we have for this week. I will be posting information on the websites as well as Facebook regarding the upcoming meditation as well as the upcoming Angel Card Workshop. So please look for that at www.advancedangelcards.com and www.theangeliccollective.com, as well as www.facebook.com/advancedangelcards. And again, if you have any questions or would like a reading, you feel free to call me on the Google Voice Angel Hotline, 747-444-1022. Thank you all for listening and have a blessed week.